Hello, good morning and welcome to Marrakesch in Morocco. We are ready for the first overseas venture for the AutoGP World Series. After races in Monza and in Valencia in Europe, we are now in Africa, the second of 4 continents that AutoGP World Series will visit this year. And young Russian protege, 16-year-old Sergei Sirotkin, is the man who will start this first ever AutoGP street race from pole position ahead of Paul Haug, Sergio Campana and Adrian Quayfobbs, who lines up in 4th place on the grid, the current championship leader. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a bright and sunny Marrakesch. I'm Martin Haven, and we are ready just a few minutes away from a big step forward. Well, 2 big steps, really, for AutoGP World Series. First of all, competing on a new continent. It's been a European-based series up until now. They're in Africa for the first time here in the heart of Marrakesch, just outside the walls of the Red City in the shadows of the Atlas Mountains. And as I said, it is the first ever street race as well. And that puts a lot of pressure on these guys. As far as I'm aware, maybe even only Giacomo Ricci has no. In fact, Adrian Quayfobbs has as well raced on the streets before, and Chris van der Drift, but in smaller category cars. Only at this level, Giacomo Ricci with GP2 street racing experience. There's our championship leader, lines up in 5th position on the grid. 2 wins, opening race in Monza and the second race in Valencia under his belt. And he leads from Paul Haug and Sergei Sirotkin. Young Russian on pole position after a great run in qualifying. Adrian Quayfobbs using the super soft tyre, but just didn't quite get the best out of it in qualifying. Unable to get the front tyres really to come to life. Chris van der Drift, a little bit of a worry for the Kiwi. Just before the beginning of the qualifying session, the engine refused to start, bizarrely having left the paddock and driven around the circuit to come into the pit lane. It then refused to fire for a worrying 10 or 15 minutes, but actually as the qualifying session got underway, he was able to get out almost immediately. So van der Drift lines up in 4th position. The yellow markings on the side of the Control Kumo tyres mark out the soft tyre. Those with no markings at all, i.e. black sidewalls essentially, are the super soft in operation here for the first time ever. So they've not used the super soft Kumo before. And of course, after a little bit of free practice, straight into qualifying on Friday. That means you've got relatively short time for everybody who's new to this track to learn the circuit and also learn the tyre. Second in the championship then is Paul Haug, winner of race 2 in Monza. A little bit disappointing in race 2 in Valencia. He got tangled up in somebody else's accident. Ended up with a few points, but not too many. He lines up on the outside the front row of the grid. Sergio Campana is 3rd behind the pole sitter. And the pole sitter is 16-year-old Sergei Sirotkin. And Sirotkin really quite the young prodigy. Born in Moscow in 1995. That's quite frightening. My own kids, 2 of them now, 16 and older. And Sergei Sirotkin, the Lukoil supported driver, the youngest ever to race in AutoGP, their youngest pole sitter and their youngest race winner, having won race 1 in Valencia. Exciting times for AutoGP World Series. Cars on their final formation lap here on the streets of Marrakesch, ready for the first ever street race in AutoGP history. Adrian Quayfobbs, the championship leader, lines up a slightly disappointed 5th. Paul Haug on the outside of the front row. Sergei Sirotkin on pole position. Chris van der Drift, whose good weekend in Valencia leads him 4th in the championship. He lines up 4th place on the grid as well. We have the welcome return of Giacomo Ricci, one of the standouts in GP2 over the last couple of seasons. He returns to the Zenith Racing team, disappointed not to get the performance he wanted in qualifying. He only lines up in 6th position, but his first ever GP2 win came in a reverse grid situation, and he is more than capable of winning this weekend. And if he can do so, then that may well start to put the cat among the pigeons. Well, interesting combination of super soft and soft tyres. Sergei Sirotkin in race 1 in Valencia won on the medium tyre when everybody else was on the soft. Poleman is on super softs. Paul Haug alongside him is on all soft rubber. Sergio Campana lines up third in the black and red highlights car. He's all on soft tyres as well. Chris van der Drift with the predominantly yellow car you're looking at, he is on super softs. Adrian Quaive-Hobbs with the yellow wings, he's on soft rears only. His teammate Victor Guerin is on soft fronts only, so a real different choice there. It's one of the principles of virtuosi racing on the pit wall. And their guys, I think, have both gone. No, Fabrizio Giacconi has gone for soft fronts and super soft rears. So a combination of the two, and during the pit stops you'll be able to tell. Super softs with yellow sidewall markings, and the soft tyre, the soft tyre with yellow sidewall markings, super soft with no markings at all. So here we go, we are ready to get things underway. 16 cars, last on the grid is Max Snegerev, the Russian. Did not get out in qualifying because of a gearbox issue. There you can see Facu Regalia, who's halfway down the grid. He's got soft rears, super soft fronts. What is going to play best here on the streets of Morocco? 19 laps or 40 minutes maximum will tell us. And away they go, and Sorokin has been left on the grid as he was in Monza. This time he does get the engine running, keeps it running, and away he goes. But a dreadful start for him. And into the lead, sweeping around everybody. Paul Verhoeven leads, Sergio Campana in second. Adrian Quaive-Hobbs gets to third. Chris van der Drift gets bumped out. He's down to sixth position. I think it was Serenelli went by him. Giancarlo Serenelli making a good start for Ombra Racing. So leading them down the straight for the first time, Paul Verhoeven. First little chicane out of the way. Long stretch down here then to corners 3 and 4. Big braking. This is a circuit which has very high approach speeds to very tight chicanes, and that may well cause a lot of brake and tyre issues later on in the race. Verhoeven leads. Campana made a great start. Quaive-Hobbs, Serenelli in fourth. Chris van der Drift eased down one, but Sergei Sorokin halfway round lap one down in ninth position from pole, and also Giacomo Ricci losing ground at the start as well. And there you can see Ricci trying to have a look down the inside. And in fact it wasn't, that was Sorokin going by Ricci. So Giacomo Ricci struggling in the red and white Zelle racing car. And the Italian needs to really regain his momentum. Chris van der Drift in the yellow and black machine, fifth back in your queue. He's under pressure from Facu Regalia, but it's the bright blue virtuosi racing car of Paul Verhoeven who is our leader. Verhoeven, the winner of race 2 in Valencia, lies second in the championship. So Verhoeven leads from Sergio Campana. They're pulling away fast from Adrian Quaive-Hobbs. Quaive-Hobbs with soft rears, and Verhoeven very wide indeed out of corner 2, but gets to the apex and just hangs on. But it's mistakes like that that will stop him getting away from Sergio Campana, and that brings them both a little closer as Adrian Quaive-Hobbs breaks away from Giancarlo Serenelli. And here comes Campana trying to take advantage of Verhoeven's lack of momentum. He's going the long way around the outside. Verhoeven outbrakes himself, and Campana, very, very well done by him to find some space to survive. Quaive-Hobbs do not go around the outside there. Therein lies disaster. Now they've got Serenelli with them, the white and blue car. So that's your top 4 then. Van der Drift, Regalia the white car, then De Jong, then Sorokin looking for a move in 8th place. He comes down the inside. And Daniel De Jong is going to defend late on the brakes with the inside line. As they get to the chicane, who comes through in front? It will be De Jong, surely. Oh, Regalia went straight through chicane. Now Sorokin, because De Jong made a big mistake there. Sorokin on the left of your picture, those two cars side by side. He's got the inside line. He's up to 7th place. 8th place now, Daniel De Jong. 9th is still Giacomo Ricci. Verhoeven comes down to the hairpin at the end of the lap. He is still the race leader, and De Jong up the inside of Sorokin. Well done both. Great pass and counter pass. And now Giacomo Ricci looking to get in on the act as well. Verhoeven leads from Campana. Quaive-Hobbs with the yellow wings in 3rd. Serenelli the white and blue car 4th. Then a challenge on Van der Drift with the yellow highlights from Regalia on the outside. The white and blue of Argentina on Facu Regalia's car. Van der Drift hangs on to 5th, but he too is under pressure. Van der Drift all on super softs. Regalia on soft rears and super soft fronts. Yellow flags are out for Y Keats. For Y, who are we missing? We are missing Cipriani as Regalia goes by. Under yellows? Yes, under yellows. There were still yellows after the move was completed. That's why he went by. He didn't see them, but Chris van der Drift did, and the Campos Racing team will have to tell the man in the white and blue car to give that place back, or there is no question he'll be penalised. He's looking now at van der Drift and tries to give him the place back. I think he's been told on the radio what the mistake was, and now look at this for Regalia. Meanwhile, Quay Hobbs battling to hang on to third ahead of Giancarlo Serenelli. Good move from Serenelli. Farhaug and Campana breaking away, then Quay Hobbs and Serenelli, and now that's Regalia in the wall backwards. Take a look at Y, skates wide onto the dirt, wham! That is broken right rear, and that will have done probably damage to the gearbox as well, and Sorokin trying to come around the outside of van der Drift as a result. Farhaug leads. We may need a safety car. There are cranes down by the chicanes. Battle for the lead. Farhaug the blue car, Campana in second, Quay Hobbs in third, and fourth is still Serenelli. Van der Drift in fifth we're looking at now, ahead of teammate De Jong. The two Manor MP Motorsport drivers. Two Dutchmen nominally, although Van der Drift doesn't speak much Dutch. His parents are from Holland, moved to New Zealand. Looking here at the battle for third, Adrian Quay Hobbs hanging on in front of Giancarlo Serenelli. Frantic stuff. There's 16 more laps of this to go, and still the battle rages for third place. Leader comes towards us, and now the battle for third place with the yellow wings is Adrian Quay Hobbs, and he is just hanging on here. His fastest lap is 2 seconds slower than the leader's fastest lap. Yellow flags are still out. Crane is coming down to recover Facu Regalia's car. The young Argentine burying it in the wall there on the exit of the chicane the last lap. So no overtaking. First and second are gone. Third and fourth go through our shot now. Fifth and sixth are together as the leader, Farhaug and Campana, come into the hairpin. There is the battle for third, and Adrian Quay Hobbs goes straight on, outbrakes himself completely, and so does Serenelli, who followed him in, and they are all coming in for tyres. That's what it was. Quay Hobbs comes in for tyres, so does van der Drift and Serenelli. Third, fourth and fifth are in for tyres. So it's a mandatory 2-tyre change. What are they going to do now? Adrian Quay Hobbs had soft rears. The rears are being changed, and it looks as though he's going on to the black super softs. So he has now done what he needed to do. This is Giacomo Ricci. Ricci was on all super softs and continues on super soft rears. So he yet has to use the soft tyres. They will have to come in tomorrow in the race at some stage on either front or rear. Battle for the lead then rages on. Paul Verhaug in the blue car, Sergio Campana right with him. And this is a great run for Campana. His best result so far, fourth place in race 2 at Monza. Sergio Campana having a nice looking run, the 25-year-old from Rome. Won last year's Italian Formula 3 championship with 2 wins. Comes to AutoGP after 3 years of Italian F3. So this is a very big step up in terms of power, performance, and a very different driving style indeed from any Formula 3 car. But look at the speed of these guys. They're lapping in the 1:30s, 1:30.3, and the group in second place, 1:32s. I'll replay there, Facu Regalia just getting it all wrong under braking and absolutely disgusted with himself. Well, so far, everybody who has stopped has changed whatever they had to stay on super soft tyres. Now, that might mean that tomorrow's race will be predominantly a soft-tyred race, because everybody will have to use them at some time. Take a look at the start. Sergei Sorokin, the man on pole, as in Monza, race 1, when he claimed pole position, making a dreadful getaway. In Monza, the car stalled completely. He was pushed away and rejoined 3 laps down. But look at him round the outside. Made up 2 places there around the outside of the left-hander. And that was the near pass for the lead by Sergio Campana on lap 2. Back with the leaders, Paul Verhaug, the blue Virtuoso UK car, and behind him Sergio Campana giving chase, racing Really hard for MLR 71, like Virtuosi, a brand new team. MLR set up by Michele La Rosa, who drives their second car to race in this championship. And as you can see, top 5 yet to stop. Michele La Rosa now up to 5th place. And a little bit of outbraking there from Giacomo Ricci. That wasn't Ricci, that was the one of the Ombra racing cars. Jan Cunha, I think, outbraking himself. Giacomo Ricci has stopped. Jan Cunha has been in a second time to the pits, and maybe that was on cold tyres, because these cars do not use tyre warmers, which means when you come out with new rear tyres on, although theoretically they should be grippier, they are stone cold and a long way from proper operating temperature, which means the car's very, very tail happy for pretty much a whole lap, you've got to think. Verhaug, another new fastest lap, and Campagna right behind him, another new fastest first sector. These two are absolutely ripping up the rest of the field. Fantastic race for the lead. Paul Verhaug with not a moment's respite. Sergio Campana, and for him actually, perhaps not the hardest place to be right in the slipstream of the leader. Although your visibility is very obscured, it's almost nil anyway, because the walls are much higher than the driver's head. We can see in, they can't see out. But here it's almost all straight line, so you don't have the problem with the car washing out in corners that you would do at almost any other racetrack. Bumpy there on the braking area for the final hairpin. Paul Verhaug still leads from Sergio Campana. The gap last time, 0.64 seconds. As they come to the line, he's out to 1.02. He's pulled away another new fastest lap, down in the 1:29s now, the leaders. And here you can see the battle with Serenelli and Spavone. Giancarlo Serenelli in the white and blue Ombra racing car. He's doing a good job in 3rd place. Antonio Spavone behind him for Euronova. Raced in Formula Abarth, Italy last year. 1600cc normally aspirated engine. He's come up to these monsters. Boy, that's an enormous step. That's not even Formula Renault to these cars. That's an even smaller car. Drive-through penalty being applied to Max Snegerev for speeding in the pit lane. Boy, his weekend just gets worse and worse as we see the challenge for 3rd. Spavone with the run on Serenelli. Both yet to stop for tyres. Wow, that's close. And here we go again. Spavone gets the run on the outside, all the way around the long way at the end of the lap, and it's going to be very dirty on the exit. Oh, and he just about holds on. And now, if he'd held his nerve, there was room. Serenelli somehow had managed to just about allow him room on the exit, but Spavone saw that big wall coming up. Michele La Rosa now with the green highlights. La Rosa in 5th position. He's having a good race here on the streets. Well, let's have a look here. Watch the white and black car on the outside. Is there room? Yes, but Serenelli looked like he was shutting the door firmly and then opened it, and by that time Spavone thought he was committed to a head-on with the wall. No wonder he decided discretion was the better part of valour. Paul Verhaug leads, and Campani, is he in the pits now? Not showing, in which case where's he gone? Because he should be right with the leader. Is this now the battle for 2nd? No, it is the battle for 3rd still. Campana has come up on the timing screen finally. Oh, and around the outside again. Great racing. Serenelli hangs on in 3rd, but Spavone throwing everything at him, barring the kitchen sink. Michele La Rosa being told to respect the track limits. He's gone straight through the chicane at turn 10, and now behind him comes Adrian Quaife-Hobbs. Quaife-Hobbs with the yellow wings, the front runner of those who have stopped for tyres. And look at the gap back to the next stopper, Chris van der Drift, who's in 7th spot as Quaife-Hobbs moves up to 5th. La Rosa now, I think it might be time for him to head for the pits for tyres. And for Adrian Quaife-Hobbs, Softs. Great run around the outside, and Giancarlo Serenelli, who somehow has been dive bombed by Spavoni the moment we took our eyes off that battle. Spavoni has gone by, Serenelli lost a lot of ground, and that must have been down at corners 4 and 5 before the long left-hander at the end of the lap. So Quaife Hobbs is now really carving through traffic, and every one of those cars he gets by quickly holds him up less. This is a good run from Adrian Quaife Hobbs, and he flies over the curbs, charging after Sergio Campana, who's now in second. Paul Verhoeven still leads from Sergio Campana with 9 laps to go, as you see Adrian Quaife Hobbs challenging for 3rd place. Well, Antonio Spavoni there left it too late under braking, shot the chicane, but still comes out in front. Now, he gained an advantage there by straight lining the chicane, by hanging on to a place that he would have lost had he managed to brake properly. So there may be some question that he needs to give that place back. Meanwhile, this is our race leader still, Paul Verhoeven, yet to stop. In the background, Sergio Campana in 2nd place, as they have been all race long, yet to stop. Woo, and Campana might be wanting some tyres fairly soon. He's got 4 soft tyres on, and he now can change to super softs. Leader on lap 11. Drive-through penalty for car 14, Antonio Spavoni, for cutting the chicane, but also for not giving the place back, I would have thought. Sergio Campana comes in from 2nd place. Now, this is a high-pressure pit stop now. Really important to get this sorted out very quickly for the MLR 71 team, and away he goes. Campana had all softs, and now he has still got, I think, super softs on the rear. In comes Antonio Spavoni, and he will serve his drive-through penalty, and then he'll need to come in for his tyre change as well. Michele La Rosa yet to stop, and Paul Verhoeven, the race leader, yet to stop. Okay, so he thinks he can do a drive-through and a pit stop at the same time. He's still going to have to serve a drive-through penalty. He's decided to do the pit stop first. So this is going to take him completely out of the equation, and that's a real shame, because he was having a really good run, Spavoni, and still has to serve a drive-through. Meanwhile, Verhoeven is coming up fast on, this is Jan Cunha, I think. No, it's not. It's Max Snegerev in front. So he goes by Snegerev, who's also had a drive-through, as well as starting from the back of the grid, having not qualified. So he not only lost track time in the qualifying session, but his race has gone badly as well. Michele La Rosa popping out of the pit lane in the background. Paul Verhoeven still leads. He does remember that he's got to do pit stops. I would say this is probably not a bad time to do it. He's no longer lapping as fast as he was. He's no longer lapping any quicker than Adrian Quaife Hobbs. This will be the time now for Verhoeven to be on the radio going, okay, guys, deep breath, let's get ready, I'm coming in. In front of Verhoeven is his teammate. So I don't think he'll worry too much about having to pass him. It's Draconi, who is in 11th spot in his first drive in these cars and for the team. Meanwhile, Adrian Quaife Hobbs charging hard, and he is up behind Sergio Campana. Now, Campana has stopped and has come out in front of Quaife Hobbs. So it shows that if he comes in now, Verhoeven almost definitely will come out in front unless there's a real drama. Quaife Hobbs will have been hoping by doing his stop early to have picked up some speed and be able to challenge the leaders that were pulling away from him. Doesn't look like that has worked quite as he'd hoped. But they were driving away from him. He had to do something. Leader on pit road. Okay, now then. Again, for the Virtuosi team, this is pressure, because their man looking for win number 2 of the season. And the first big points Saturday race. Black sidewalls means super soft. Well, Paul Verhoeven. Oh, and he stalls the engine. Now, get it started. They need an external starter to go in. It will be ready, and he has time in hand, but how much time? Here come the leaders. They're at the hairpin. Come on, come on, get it engaged, get it started. Trying to fire it up. No, it's still not restarting, and away he goes now, and he drops to third place, and that was driver error, I'm afraid. He roars away underneath us, and it is Sergio Campana who leads here. Adrian Quaife-Hobbs in second place, handed a lifeline in race 1 at Marrakesh by Paul Verhoeven, dropping to third as he stalled in the pit stop. Well, there's the boys from Virtuosi UK. They recovered well, but they had done their job. The car was down, and unfortunately with the paddle touches and so on, Paul Verhoeven not able to get away the way he wanted to. Sergio Campana now sets a new fastest lap, 1:29.830. Points for fastest laps as well. Campana leads, Quaife-Hobbs second, Verhoeven third, from Vanderdrift, Ricci and Sirotkin the poleman. Well, this is the big battle on track at the moment. Quaife-Hobbs is tracking Campana all the way. Don't forget, a lot of the time Quaife-Hobbs was in clear air. A lot of the time in the early part of the race, in fact almost all race, Campana has been in dirty air behind Verhoeven. Now on the straights, not a drama. In fact, the turbulence means that your car is running in less dense air and creates less drag. So in fact it helps the engine and the tyres, even if it takes away a bit of downforce in a straight line. That's never a bad thing. But under braking, where the aerodynamic wings really help the brakes at the front of the car, really help the tyres at the front of the car grip the track, if you're in turbulent air, then every time you're on the brakes, there's the replay of the lead being lost by Paul Verhoeven. Car stalling as he was dropped down, didn't quite give it enough of a boot full of revs to get away from the pit stall. He's in the background now, almost half a straight behind, coming onto the gas as the leaders get onto the brakes. So just to round up my point about Campana, when you're in turbulent air, your front tyres suffer more. In the middle of the shot there is David Sears, the boss of Supernova, whose team with Adrian Quaife-Hobbs lie in second place. But Sergio Campana racing for the brand new MLR 71 team. This will be a massive step up for them. Virtuosi, a brand new team, have already had a win this season with Paul Verhoeven. And now it could be that MLR will also get their first ever race win, because they exist just to do this championship, had never raced in anything before. Adrian Quaife-Hobbs with an eye on the prize at the end of the season. And if there's the MLR boys. David Sears has seen many races, won many races as a driver and as a team boss, so he'll be feeling, I should think, an awful lot calmer about this than the MLR 71 team. And Quaife-Hobbs hunting his rival. He's got a bit of debris on the front suspension. That won't worry him, that won't worry the car either. What he's got to try and do in the remaining 4 laps, 3.5 laps now, is pile the pressure on Campana, try and force an error under braking. But you've got to say, Sergio Campana has looked very composed all race. Attacking or defending hasn't seemed to worry him much. He's more than happy to try new racing lines to attack. And now he's just got to stick on the clean racing line, the rubbered up part of the track, to defend. And if he does so, Adrian Quaife-Hobbs is going to struggle to get by. And actually, with 3 to go, Adrian may well think, do you know what? From 5th on the grid, 2nd place, not bad at all, especially bearing in mind the man in front of him is in 9th place in the championship. Broken flaps there on the front of Jan Cunha's car, I think. A little further back, Michele La Rosa coming under pressure. No, in fact, the other way round. He has pressurised Max Snegerev, and La Rosa goes around the outside of Snegerev. That's a change for 12th. So the Russian is having a really tough time of things here. Michele La Rosa moves up to 12th, Snegerev down to 13th. Michele La Rosa's black car in 12th spot as team boss Michele outbrakes Max Snegerev, who is still outbraking himself, really not at home on this track, the Russian. And at the other end of the field, in the battle for first, not last, Michele La Rosa's teammate, Sergio Campana, trying to hold on to the lead of this race. Nice and neatly into turns 4 and 5 from Campana. Adrian Quaife-Hobbs really piling on the pressure. The young Briton is pushing, pushing, pushing now. I was just saying, maybe with 3 to go, he'll settle for second. Do you think he has? No, I'm not sure he has either. I think he wants to win this. He's using every inch of the road to get by Campana. Again, this is a bit of a forlorn hope as a pass on the outside, but it piles the pressure on the leader, and Quaife-Hobbs smells blood in the water. Campana comes off the corner wide. Quaife-Hobbs very tight. He's got to run down the inside, and this will play into the hands of the Briton. No, couldn't get the overlap, decided to get his nose out of the way, and they survive another corner. Again, great thinking driving from both men. They are working really, really on the ragged edge now. And both cars are bouncing all over the place, still setting fastest laps. Come on, says the team to Sergio Campana. I don't think that he needed any encouragement. Lap 18 of 19, 2 to go then. Sergio Campana with a chance to win his first race in AutoGP, if only he can hold off Adrian Quaife-Hobbs. And for Campana, as father and son there watch from the pit wall, if Campana can hang on, then he will have done a stand-up job, because Quaife-Hobbs is really giving this everything. Look at the car shimmying under braking. Again, Campana measures the line and the length and allows Quaife-Hobbs to dart about in his mirrors. You must ignore that, distracting as it is. Blue flags wave. I think Campana's aware that there's another car behind him. Now in front of them, not sure who the car in the distance is. It might well be the second of the Virtuosi cars that goes straight through the chicane anyway. And Spavoni again being told off for not respecting the track limits there at turn 10. He got a drive-through penalty for that. Spavoni has been through the pits 3 times, and in fact that's Snegerev. Max Snegerev really, I think this track has given him the willies today. He is really not enjoying it. His best lap at 1 minute 43, the leaders 1 minute 33, 32 and 30. And 29s they're doing now, and 30s. And Campana under pressure. Quaife-Hobbs making the move for the lead. He's got to go around the outside. And again, Campana holds on. Snegerev stays out of the way. Thank you, Max. Because coming in the middle of the lead battle there would not have helped anybody. Again, Quaife-Hobbs pushes. Last lap. He wants to win this. He's going with an old adage, never leave a point on the table. He's going the long way around the outside. He's trying to push the pressure onto Campana. He's trying to force the Italian to break early. Campana hangs on. The Roman still leads. The boy from Kent behind him. Fantastic last lap action in his first AutoGP race on a street circuit. The first time in Africa, the first time outside Europe for the championship. And Quaife-Hobbs this time's got the inside line. He's alongside, but he has the inside line. He's got track advantage down to the chicanes. Spavoni, Campana rather, with his nose half a length in front. But Quaife-Hobbs again gives him the benefit of the doubt. Great clean racing. And Campana somehow is able to eke out a little bit of top-end speed. Maybe Quaife-Hobbs' gearing is hitting the limiter, but Campana hangs on, and again he's just in front in the chicane. Last chance will be down into the hairpin, and Campana checks the left mirror. Quaife-Hobbs comes left, but there's not enough room to make a lunge down the inside. If he gets off the corner, the checkered flag awaits. It is going to be a monumental first victory for Sergio Campana and a first ever win for the MLR 71 team. The championship leader, Adrian Quaife-Hobbs, takes second position to the applause of David Sears. But for MLR 71, a brand new team, a first win. Paul Verhaugen third, and the lapped Max Snegerev is there. Change for 4th place. No, that's your top 2. Chris van der Drift should be in 4th ahead of Giacomo Ricci. But there is Sergio Campana, the race winner. There is Ricci in front of Sirotkin coming down to the hairpin. A little flash of van der Drift's yellow car. And then Jan Cunha with, and is that Serenelli behind him? It is. I know that's Draconi behind Serenelli. Jan Cunha in front of them. So squabbles all the way down. The race is still going on for these guys. The leaders are about half a lap in front of them. And these are all still racing to the checkered flag. Spadoni in front of Cunha and Serenelli. And then Draconi in the pale blue car. And a race for the line. They're running to the stripe. Who's going to get it? Draconi, did he overhaul? He did! Draconi by 0.05 of a second gets in front. Just the nose wing there. Well, from the dirt roads at the side of the track and from the raised mounds, spectators wondering what's going on. A fantastic race though, and Sergio Campana, for me, the real star. Paul Verhoeven, his quality we're already aware of. Same with Adrian Quaife-Hobbs, they've both won races. But for Sergio Campana, straight out of Italian Formula 3, he's the Italian Formula 3 champion of last year, with a brand new team. That is an epic race win. My goodness, what a race. Sergio Campana, what a race to win. First ever street race for AutoGP World Series. First win for him and for the team. Do you think they're happy? I think so. Well, down in winner's circle, closest to us with the yellow helmet, Paul Verhoeven being commiserated with by his girlfriend. Adrian Quaife-Hobbs, the championship leader, second place. Another strong race from him from 5th on the grid, disappointed after qualifying. He extends his championship lead over Paul Verhoeven and Sergei Sirotkin, Chris van der Drift. But the man that we're going to hear from in just a moment with Ben Constangiris down in the pit lane is our first-time winner, Roman Sergio Campana.
Incredibly entertaining race there in Marrakesh. Sergio, the pressure must have been immense.
Yeah, during the start I overtake one driver that was stopped in front of me, and I pass near him like this, him into the wall. After I was behind Verhoeven, I was a little bit faster, but I lost the chance to overtake him when he take an error. After we do the pit stop, and when I go out, I go a good performance, but in the last lap I finish my rear tire are finished, and I see then Quaife-Hobbs arrive just behind me and try to overtake. In the last lap was very crazy, very hard, but I'm very happy for me, for the team, for my sponsor, that this is a great victory for me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Well, he summed it up perfectly. He's right. It is a great victory as well. I had forgotten that Sirotkin was stalled right in front of him, and under enormous pressure from Adrian Quaife-Hobbs, the 25-year-old Roman hangs on by his fingernails to claim victory. And a very big day indeed for MLR 71 as the team claimed their first win. Well, that's the first of 2 AutoGP races this weekend. Don't forget World Touring Car Championship action for the 3rd time from the streets of Marrakesh returns here as well. We'll have qualifying, warm-up and race 1 and race 2 for you on Eurosport, Eurosport 2, British Eurosport and British Eurosport 2. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and please do join us for all the action from the FIA World Touring Car Championship and the AutoGP World Series, where Sergio Campana takes a first win for himself and for his team MLR 71, as the AutoGP World Series has its first ever street race. A real thriller here in Marrakesh, hopefully setting the tone for the rest of the weekend.